Tear down these walls.
Welcome to Bishop's Roundtable, hosted by Bishop Anthony Thompson. Bishop Roundtable is a weekly program dedicated to giving local community leaders an opportunity to talk about events or situations that affect communities here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Bishop's Roundtable is a production of Kingdom ICDC, the group that ensures positive community development on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Now, here's your host, Bishop Anthony Thompson.
How are you doing? This is Bishop Thompson with a brand new edition of the Bishop's Roundtable that will be taking over in 2020. I have with me Ms. Donisha. Ms. Donisha, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. How old are you and where you come from and what are some of your aspirations?
My name is Anisha and I'm 19 years old and I go to JD for business administration and I'm looking forward to owning my own business one day.
How important is it for you to have your own business?
Very important because I think I'm good with that type of responsibility.
Okay. And ownership is something that I think that, but being a young person, I mean, you don't normally find a young person that really think like being his business, being their own boss. Why do you think that way?
Because honestly, I don't like working for people.
Oh, so other people do what? They control you? What is it like? What is it like working for other people? I mean, like, how do you feel being, for lack of a better term, how do you feel when you don't have control of things and people are kind of like guiding you and telling you what to do, and you know that what you're doing has nothing to do with your success. It has everything to do with somebody else's success. So how does that drive? I mean, what do you feel when those things are happening?
It's not really about the control part. When I look at other people and see how old they are when they're working for people, I don't want to be that old still doing it.
Oh, okay. So you see a lot of older people that's been hooked to that job for years and they have no control. And you don't want that to be you. That's how, I think that when you are trying to make some things happen in your life and you see different, and sometimes those examples are there for you to learn from, and you've learned at an early age that you don't want that to be you. So how do you see yourself? I know you may have a few different things that's on your plate as a young person. You know, I tell people don't have just one thing you can do. I learned that from my father a long time ago. My father, used to make me stand around and watch him work on the car. I had to work in the garden in the backyard. And I used to get upset because everybody else was out playing and doing everything. And my father always told me, don't just say that there's one thing you can do. Learn how to do many different things so that when you come in contact with people, you say, well, I can do that. So I know you have a couple of things that you may enjoy doing. So tell me about some of those things you enjoy doing.
I really enjoy dancing and that's really...
You like dancing? And I know that you and I had kind of talked briefly. Tell me about the thing that you want to help with young ladies. What about that thing that you do? I guess dancing can be an entryway to you getting in contact with young ladies to be able to talk to them about some other things. What are some of those things that you wanted to do with with young girls and young ladies?
I want to show them and teach them how to properly take care of their bodies and show them that it is some females out here that been through what they've been through. Because some younger females, they don't have that at home and they have to learn how to do that on their own.
Yeah, one of the things is just that sometimes you see, I guess, seeing females, younger females that they be dressed up looking good and got all the other stuff. But there's more to the female, what you're saying, there's more to the female body than it is the outward appearance. And can you tell me what's the difference? What's different than the outward appearance? What else just briefly some of the things they may need to know? just taking care of their bodies and just things that they need to learn? How about diet?
That too.
What kind of foods you think? Have you got up into the food aspect of it yet?
No, not yet.
Those are things that you're learning? Okay. So I think that a lot of times, though, we see females and they're kind of like all the bomb and all dressed up, you know. So, but you're saying there's a lot of things that they need to know other than that. And so you, I guess you're going to probably start looking at your system and work with younger. What's the age bracket that you want to work with?
All ages.
All ages?
From
Okay.
young to the old.
Okay.
Because what I might know or might not know, somebody older than me or younger than me do know.
So I guess if you're going to get up into that, I think that you're probably going to have some group discussion with some older women to sit down and kind of like, you know, it's kind of like what the scripture says. Scripture tells us that the older women should teach the younger women. Do you see a whole lot of older women teaching younger women these days like they should?
Probably at home, but not like just strangers.
So I know coming up, some of the things that we learn, I guess that you probably can say that we may become like a male chauvinist or something like that when we talk about roles of what people are supposed to do and what they do not supposed to do. Do women, young girls, really look forward to learning how to cook these days?
No, but they need to know.
They need to know? Why do you think they need to know?
Because they probably, like their mom or somebody, they're not going to be there all the time. And if you don't want to waste a lot of money eating out, then cooking at home for you, your family is, you know.
That was a key word you said. If you don't want to waste a lot of money eating out. I mean, it can cost you to eat out. It can cost you to spend that excess money. And I think a lot of time it comes down to saving money. I remember I was working for this financial company and we was talking about saving money. And I was trying to show people, and most people say, well, I can't invest my money. Because I was talking about investing their money. And they were saying, well, I can't afford to invest my money. And so the thing I was talking about, how much do you spend on lunch each day? You know, in an average, you know, I said, let's just go an average. You know, if you spend an average of $5 a day on lunch, that's what, $20 a week, you know. So, I mean, look, yeah, it's $20 a week. So you look at that, then you take that and you add that up through a month. You spent some money that you could have just cooked some food at home, brought your lunch, and put the rest of it in investment. So people have, I think that when you're talking about spending money on food, you know, that's some of the things that ladies need to learn because, and then what happens when that young lady gets hooked on fast foods? You know, it's really not good for them. I mean, we can talk about a whole lot of fast foods and that's good for them. Do you know how to cook?
I know how to cook some stuff, but I'm still learning.
So what can you cook? Water? What can you cook? Tell me what you can cook.
I cook red beans, chicken, lasagna, spaghetti, and pasta. I think that's it.
You can cook a whole lot more than some people can cook. How's your red beans?
They not like my mama's yet.
Okay. I like what you said. They're not like my mom was yet. I guess sometimes, you know, a lot of times, you know, a lot of people know I like to cook. I cook. And a lot of times we're cooking is just your touch. What are some of the other things that you see the young people are lacking? What are some of the things you see young people need in their life?
A mentor.
A mentor? Why do you think they need a mentor?
Because even if you do have somebody you can talk to, there's certain things that you don't want to talk to them about.
Yeah, and so that just having that confident person, huh? This is a question I want to kind of, since we're talking about what people need in their life, do you think that young ladies need a father in their life as well as a mother?
A father?
Yeah.
It depends.
It depends.
Because my dad, he in my life, but my mom, she been there, and like I think she did pretty good with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying that I didn't have my father. I'm just saying like she taught me most of you know things and stuff like that.
Well, one of the things that I know, and with me being a father as well as having other kids, you know, from a previous relationship, from a, you know, we got a lady. I think you met her at the training. You know, she talks about the father's fight, you know, to be with their kids, and she's going to be able to come on and talk to us about some things because she's in a fight right now for her son and his rights as a father to be able to have his kids. And a lot of times what young people have to understand, and even such as yourself, it's easy for your mom to have that greater impact on your life because she's with you all the time. But on the other hand, the father is like out here. And so sometimes, you know, he's not in the house, but it's a little bit different because my kids that I raise now that I was in the house with is completely different than the ones I raised. You know, did not raise because I was not in the house. And that has a lot of impact on our kids today. You can see the difference in the kids because of that balance. So when you think about, and there are situations where I'm not saying every man thinks like that, and I'm not saying every woman thinks like that. And I often hear, you know, Steve Harvey and some other people talk about that. Sometimes that mother has to let that father in. And sometimes I find that sometimes mothers can be kind of sheltered with that child. And they may not give the father access like he can. On the other hand, there's some mothers that want the father to have access and he's not capable of doing that. One of the most telling stories that I had years ago, and I was at Northport School talking to a father that he was dealing with one of his sons, and he was having issues. And one of the things that the father said was, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that back in the day, it wasn't no question about he don't know what to do when he was having issues with his son. But then I was having a conversation. I had two guys that rode home with me from the game, and they was having a conversation, and they were like, "I want to spend time with my dad. I want my dad to come get me. I want to go live with my dad for a little period of time." But my mama won't let me, you know. My dad tried to call, my mom won't let me talk to him, but I want to spend time with my dad. And so those were sometimes those young men kind of act out and all that. So, and also the same token, I think that, you know, your mom, like you said, she did a good job, but, you know, I think there's a lot of things that a father can do in your life as it relates to showing you what a man should be like in your life. And so those things come, those are some of the things that we're going to talk about. Also, I mean, just getting back down to straight talk, no chaser. You know, we're going to be talking about that here. That's what we're going to do. You know, we're going to be talking straight talk, no chaser. Learning from you as well as learning from the men, having different people come on and talk, and having you bring some other young ladies in to be able to talk about those things. And so I think that I'm looking forward to a good year, and I think it's going to be great. And so once again, I thank you for coming on. Would you have anything you'd like to leave with the people before we go? Yeah, well, this is Bishop Thompson. You know, we're going to be having some great things going on this year. Our year this time just focus on what we're going to do. And Miss Donisha is going to be here. We're going to have straight talk, no chaser. We're going to make some things happen. Are you looking forward to that?
I am.
And I'm looking forward to the power to the people.
Hello, this is Bishop Anthony Thompson from the Tabernacle of Faith Ministries. We would like for you to tune in to the Bishop's Roundtable on Saturday starting at 12 o'clock. We're going to have a good show lined up for you. It's going to be impactful. We're going to talk about economic development in the church, and we're going to talk about church growth and what you can do to help enhance your spiritual life. Once again, tune in to the Bishop's Roundtable at 12 o'clock on Saturday mornings.
Tear down these walls. Thanks for watching Bishop Roundtable with your host, Bishop Anthony Thompson. Bishop Roundtable is a production of Kingdom ICDC, ensuring positive development on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Once again, thanks for watching.